What it do, YouTube? This your boy Chatter Hayes coming at you with a little video. Just want to speak on death and grieving. I noticed a video that a lot of people might like, man, why he want to talk about death and grief and stuff. Well, it's part of life. People die, you know. I had family members that done passed away, friends that done passed away. So, you know, just sometimes things you just need to talk about in this world and in this lifetime. But the reason why I want to speak on death is me and my wife was having a conversation here a few weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago, maybe that long, if so. But anyway, my wife lost a very good friend, a sister, her partner. You know what I'm saying? Her girl. You know, and it really hurt her heart bad. You know what I'm saying? It was a tragic accident. And it hurt a lot of people. Including myself, man. I was like, it was heartbreaking. Like, why? They said don't question why. But anyway, my missus going through something, with that. She's grieving. I don't think she experienced a death, a person that died to her as close. You know what I'm saying? Maybe like a long time ago, maybe her grandmother. But the way things happen, it was tragic. And I was like telling her, I done lost a few people in different ways and different deaths, and I like told her, I said, I told her the things I went through and how I felt about each death, and I can give an example of a few deaths, that really was heartbreaking to me and really impacted some on me, and just did something to me. But anyway, y'all, like I said, this is another Chad talking, and like I said, this video here is just one of those videos that, I just had to do, I really didn't want to do it. I was like, having mixed feelings about doing this video, and hopefully I will put it out, like I said. But anyway, like, share, subscribe to my YouTube page, Chatter Hayes, and like I said, let's get into it. Anyway, speaking on death, my first just tragic death to me was losing of my father and also my grandmother, my father. I had my mother, which is my grandma, Louise. She passed away, and also my father passed away within the same week. My father was sick and my grandmother was sick, so they had some health issues, and they passed. And I was hurt, but I was heartbroken because I had lost my dad, big time. Then I also was heartbroken. I lost my grandma, somebody that I grew up in the house with also as a kid, But then I was looking like, damn, my mother done lost her husband, her best friend, her soulmate, and her mother in the same week. So damn, now my heart hurt for her. And also hurt from me for losing my dad and my grandma. So, like, imagine my mom going through some pain, and I'm watching her hurt, and I'm hurt for her, but I'm hurt for myself too. So that was one deal, and it took me a while to get over my father. A long time. I'm on my dad a long time because you just ain't ready for your parent to leave. That's just how it is, and I felt like that I was cheated because I didn't get to experience enough time with my dad as I grew up to be a man, because I left home right after high school, like a few months after high school, so I'm out, on my own, pretty kind of, but I'm living with my sister and stuff, but I'm pretty much on my own because I done left home. I'm stepping out into the real world, so to lose my father at a young age, stepping into manhood about 20, I guess I was like 20 years old when he passed, So stepping in, it's like in the 90s, like 97, So I'm like, man, I lost my guidance. I needed my father to guide me some more in life, So I ended up jumping off the porch and really learned for myself a lot, You know, you need that guidance sometimes. You know, as a young man or a young lady. But anyway, I agree hard. But time, like I said, time makes it easy. Time took that feeling out of me, and I came at peace with. He's gone. He lived his life. Even though it was short. By health issues and stuff. But I'm quite sure he enjoyed his life for the most part. Good man, provider. If I ever could be just any part of what he was, I'm grateful for that. But anyway, like I said, different deaths. I'm moving on to another death, and which was a tragic death for me, to my heart, because I had never experienced another death that was just so devastating. And it was my cousin Bobby. He was murdered. Some dudes I knew, went to school with, killed him. And it took me a long time to get over that. My cousin got killed, I think like 2006. I just got over it 2 years ago. Just that feeling. It took a long time. I finally got what I needed to get off my chest about 2 years ago about it. I did a Facebook video about it. And it rattled a few bones, But it was okay because it had something I had to do for myself. I agreed with my cousin for years because, I'm like, damn, why it had to happen to him? He went out there in the streets. He was a church guy. He wasn't doing nothing that I know out the way. But if he was, damn, that they had to do him in, they tortured him, killed him, whatever, it was terrible, heartbreaking. And I mourned my cousin for years. I'm like, damn, we couldn't even save you, cuz. And I felt bad and I hurt it because we wasn't there. And it took a long time. I finally, like I said, became and got some peace with it. It's not overnight that it's gonna happen. It might take years and years and years, like it did with my cousin and my father, But I eventually, I came with some closure, and I had to let go and accept that. Hey, we can't continue to hold on what happened. It happened. We can't change what happened. The only thing we can do is stay strong, be supportive, and just of each other because it was bad. But like I said, that's just one example of one death. Like I said, a lot of people don't like to talk about death. They say you talk about something, you keep talking about it's gonna happen. But shit, what we've been talking about getting rich. Me and my partner, all I like it. We ain't rich yet. But anyway, it doesn't matter. It's just something that you said. But it's just like another thing. But anyway, moving on. I experienced another death. Two deaths in the same year. A woman that I was with named Cherie. And I love Cherie. She was a good girl to me. We had our issues like any other couple. She had got some health issues, and she was sick. As a matter of fact, the same issues that I'm going through right now. Never would have thought I'd be going through some. I didn't understand what she was going through then. She was strong with it. She fought a good fight with it. I won't lie. I thought what she was going through was a piece of cake for her because sometimes she was good, and then there was some times she was bad, and I didn't understand because I was caught up in my own thing out here in the world, running the streets for real, just doing whatever, being that guy, But I did what I did. I took care of home, but I still was out there screwing up and screwing off, doing things I had not been done. But when she passed, she died. On my favorite holiday, she went out. She died, but technically she died the 5th. But July 4th of 2012, she passed, and I was heartbroken because that was my girl. That was my confidant. She was my ride or die at the time. And I cared and I loved her. You know what I'm saying? And it hurted me. And it hurted me that her little boy had to go through that, to lose a mom at a young age. It made me go think about back in the day when one of my classmates lost his mom when we was in high school, elementary school, and whatever, high school, whatever, you know, when Big Jim lost his mom, it was heartbreaking. Like, damn, our classmate that lost his mom, you know, I don't know, that just always stuck, because we knew his mom, because she was a substitute, but not jumping off the subject about Cherie, but, you know, what happened, you know, she was sick and she died, she went out, you know, her heart stopped, you know, and they couldn't bring her back. She didn't never come back, you know. And it hurt my heart because, like I said, that was my friend, that was my confidant, you know what I'm saying? She was my ride or die. Even though I was out there messing up, she still came through for me, you know what I'm saying? In my worst times, or even in my best times, she still was there for me. For some reason, I don't know why. But, you know, and like I said, nobody could understand what I was going through when she died. You all of a sudden you get a phone call saying get home, Chad, text or something. My girl Nene, my little sister Nene text me. I remember that day because I was headed down 69 to another one of our friends' house just to kick, because it was just the fourth for me that day. It was just eerie. I wasn't kicking it with nobody. I wasn't doing nothing for real. I was just chilling. Everybody was out doing their own thing. So I leave. I tell her I see you later. You know, that's what I always say. She'd tell me, be careful. Because she knew what I was doing. You know, she like, shit, just be careful. Now, like, I see you later. She was kicking in that side with her family. And less than 30 minutes later, I get a phone, like I said, a text. And I look at my phone saying, get home. Something going on at your house. I'm like, what the hell going on in my crib? And when I get there, ambulance there. She's on the ground there, administrating CPR. And when I looked at her, I knew she wasn't coming back. I could see she was gone. Because, you know, if you done seen somebody pass on and they try to bring somebody back to life, and you just know. And I knew she wasn't coming back, you know, even though she fought, you know, they took her to the hospital, they kept bringing her back, but she kept going out. You know, she was gone, you know. But, you know, like I said, I agree. You know, nobody could understand. My mother couldn't understand what I was going through. She thought I was losing it. I'm like, you know, when you lose somebody that you care about and love, it's just heartbreaking and it's hurtful and you grieve. And I grieved a long time, you know. But then, you know, life goes on. And at the same time, a few months later, my Aunt Sally passed away, you know. That was my cousin Bobby's mom. You know, my heart hurted for her, for what happened to Bobby, you know. Her son got killed. We was just kicking it, you know what I'm saying, before he got killed. But anyway, get to my Aunt Sally, you know, she passed away. This lady raised us. That was another heartbreaker. This is like 2012. So it's like 2012, yeah. So another heartbreaking death. So I'm mourning my girl that just passed and my auntie. So damn, I'm fucked up. And I'm still mourning my cousin Bobby. Because now I'm thinking about him because they died. And I'm like, I'm just, boom. I'm just all messed up. Nobody knows. I'm hurting. You want to express it, but you don't know how to express it. You shed tears in a given time. Your heart ache for months and months and months at a time. And then you like, damn, will this ever end? Will it ever ease up? And yeah, of course it'll ease up. You don't forget them. It eases up. The pain eases up, and you get through it. But then here you go, come along. You hear about a friend or somebody you know will pass away, and it bring all that emotional stuff back into your head, and you grieve and you think about your family that done passed on. And then, like I said, you know, it's heartbreaking, you know, when you lose somebody. Then when you think it's all done and said for a while, and you ain't got to deal with no death, nobody passing away, boom, somebody else passed away that you know, a family member. And then for me, here we go again, you know, death. My mom died, 2017. And my wife, Marquita, she was like, Chad, are you okay? I was like, I'm fine. I didn't feel like I feel when my other friends or family or some other, like my other brothers that passed away when my mom died. I don't know. You know, my mom she was sick, you know, and I'm dying, you know. But my mother was a good lady. She blessed my life. For all the years that I can remember, that I was since birth. And she lived her life the way she wanted to. You know, my mom had a friendship. They say you can't have big friends with your parents, but that's a lie. Me and my mom had a great friendship. We had a bond, an unbreakable bond. You know what I'm saying? I was her last child. We had a bond that I think no other had a bond with. And like I said, when she died, I missed her. I mourned a little bit, but I wasn't like devastated and heartbroken because for some reason she always put in me like, we all gotta leave this earth. Live your life to your best. So I didn't grieve my mom as hard or bad. I miss her. I always will miss her because she was my ride or die. She ride with me no matter what. You know what I'm saying? As long as I ain't get myself in no bullshit and she had to come get my ass out of jail, I was good. She always said, if you go to jail, you go for some that will work for going, but don't go for no nonsense. If you go for nonsense, don't look for me to come get you. And I always believe that. But she blessed my life, and I didn't have no feelings that I was like devastated. I miss her, but I wasn't heartbroken when she died. Like some days, you just get heartbroken because I was at peace because I know she was at peace. I guess that's why, you know, that was different for me because I knew she was at peace. I could feel my mom. I'm her, she's me some kind of way. I don't, I'm connected. Anyway, that was just one couple examples of some deaths, y'all, that I had experienced. But like I said, you grieve and you hurt. And I'll give y'all one more death, because I don't talk about my brother. I got a brother. Well, my brother passed away in 2018, a year after my mom died. My brother had lived in Texas most of his life, all his adult life. And I got to go out there a few times, and we seen each other, when I was young, and stuff. Anyway, he ended up moving back home to Alabama, staying at home, on the property with my mom and stuff. And he was sick, he had been out in Texas, got sick, had some problems, some issues, I guess. But he ended up sick too, and got down here and he got sicker and stuff. So he ended up passing away, his health deteriorated. And he got real bad off. And I couldn't do nothing to help my brother. And that hurted my heart because I was messed up. Still messed up. I had just went through hard surgery and doctors, I'm messed up. I can't do nothing for help him. He messed up. Doctor telling me I got all other stuff going on with my kidneys failing. I'm like, I'm in bad shape. My chest I still got thread in my chest that hadn't all the way dissolved. I'm trying to see about my brother. I'm walking around barely making it. And he died. And the worst thing for me was to see my brother laying on that table at that mortuary down there. And anybody that know me or know my brother and that seen her, we look like we could be twins, especially now that I'm small like I am, and he was small too like this. He had got real small. He probably was smaller than I am now. So imagine, look how small I am compared to what I used to be. If you see me in person or see me on video, look at him being half of me, what I am now. So he pretty much had faded away. He was sick, body just couldn't take no substance in. He was just messed up. And anyway, when he passed away, I went to see his body to make arrangements. And the worst thing I could do was look at my brother, when I ain't have no choice but to see him. And when I seen my brother on that table with that sheet on, that guy at the mortuary pulled the sheet from on my brother's face, and I looked at me. I looked at him. It was like me looking at myself. And like I said, it hurt me in my heart that I couldn't do nothing to help my brother. And I grieved my brother for a long time. But I had to come back to term, at some peace. Once I could spread his ashes back home on the property where we grew up at, I had a little peace in my heart after then. And then, you know, my aunt Lane, she took some of his ashes back and spread them along the way back to Texas. Because that's what he loved. He loved Texas. Texas was his play. He loved Alabama, Texas. You know, that was his home. This was his home. And like I said, we wasn't close like brothers should have been. And that's another part that hurted me, you know. I lost a brother without getting really to know my brother, you know. We were just getting to know each other again, you know. Because when I knew my brother, I was a kid. He was a teenager, growing up fast, and he left home and went out to make a life for himself, you know. Then I became an adult, and as adults, you know, we could have been kept better connection with each other. You know, we could have stayed closer, but you know, I don't know. Maybe that's the way it's supposed to be. But like I said, you know, I experienced deaths in different ways. You know, I'm gonna wrap this up. You know, I ain't gonna talk about no more deaths. But anyway, like I said, you know, sometimes when people die, you just grieve them different. It's like, you know, your heart ache different, you know, and sometimes it takes a long time. And sometimes you may not never get over the death of a person. I used to wonder why people grieve people so long, and I'm looking at my doggone self. I said, "Damn, Chad, you grieve somebody a long time. Why other people can't grieve people a long time? It's no time limit on grief, y'all. You know, pretty much that's what I want to tell y'all. You know, it hurts to lose your people, but you know it's part of life. You know, it's tragic when you lose somebody in a bad way, you know, especially when it's somebody die in an accident or somebody get killed. You know, it's tragic. Deaths like that, man. It's scary and heartbreaking. You know, and then you lose people like your mother, father, or sibling, or somebody young from an illness or something. It's just heartbreaking. You know, we all take deaths different, and there is no time limit on grief. But one thing I tell you, you cannot let grief take over your life. You got to be strong. You got to look up at them clouds and that sunshine and feel that warm air and that warm breath of the earth and remember that person that you care so much about and be like, it's okay. We had a good time while we here. When we was here with each other, we loved, we laughed. Remember the goods, even the bads, you know. Memories are memory, you know. But you always know that once you got them in your heart, your body, mind, soul, all that, they never fall from you. You know. That's why I love making videos because I want people that know me, and especially my family and my kids. You know, if I leave this earth right now, they got a video they can go back and hear my voice and see my face. So that's enough for me. You know, no matter what happened to me, like I tell my wife, you know, you stay strong. Of course, if I leave this earth or you, or vice versa, I'm quite sure you're gonna grieve and hurt and cry and mourn. But guess what you do? You put your big girl drawers on or your big boy drawers on, and you stand up and you look up to the heavens. And especially if you believe in the higher being, God Almighty, you look up at them heavens, and He gonna give you what you need to move on and go on with your life. So it's okay to grieve, but don't let grief take your life, because you still living. And I know nobody that ever loved you wants you to forever be sad. We gotta be happy. Happy makes the soul feel good. Without happiness, you have no life. You gotta have happiness somewhere. And whatever makes you happy, you enjoy it to the best of your ability. Be kind, be respectful, be loving, be nice and caring. YouTube, like, share, and subscribe. I'm sorry, y'all. YouTube, like, share, and subscribe. And you know, and to everybody that's out there going through something, do not give up on your life. I almost gave up a little bit here a few weeks ago. I was getting frustrated, but I'm getting myself back together because I'm not ready to leave this earth because I got a mission, and I don't know what it is, but I'm not ready to leave my wife and my kids, my friends and family that I love and still care about, because it's still some things in this world that Chad can still do. Good days or bad days. Y'all keep your heads up. We love you out here. You know, let's have a good time with life. Families, let's be families again. You ain't gotta always be together. Let's just get it together, y'all. You see, the coronavirus divided us, got us scared to even hug and shake each other's hand. They're taking us out of the church and schools. They want to mass. They want us to mass up, you know, and protect ourselves. But we messing up and hiding ourselves. You know, we can't hide forever. We just got to get right. The government gonna do what they gonna do. You just got to get right and take care of yourself and your friends, your family, and look out for each other. But anyway, like, share, and subscribe to my channel, Chat with Hayes. That's Chat with Hayes, YouTube. Hey, appreciate the love. I'm out this thing. Deuces, y'all.